I think for me, the initial invitation was a blessing because opportunities like this for our community is far from, even available. So that invitation alone was very exciting. It was promising. And then being from a Caribbean background with lineage and ancestry to Ghana specifically, Sankofa is basically knowing where you're from and actually tracing that history. So I think I wanted my son Anthony to know where he's from, to really pivot him as a senior to know where he's going into the future. So it's a pivotal moment for me as a parent to instill that in him.
Because every country has its own unique style or way of life, which is difficult for me to say this country is better than this country or that country is better than that country based on their uniqueness.
Learning about the world and the people of the world and seeing the world and seeing the people of the world, there's no better education. It just enriches your soul, and it makes you not tolerant, but it makes you appreciate. You don't, because when you get to meet people from the world and see them in their elements and where they're from and understand who they are, you don't tolerate them, you embrace them.
I think my favorite part of it was just how welcome we were. Just from the beginning, the first day, there was this lady who obviously didn't know us, and we were just walking, and she just was like, I'm glad you're here and we love you, and like gave us a big hug, and I was like, wow. So that's just stuck in my head.
I think just knowing our culture, our Black history, and sharing that with the younger youth, that it didn't just start slavery in the United States, right? That there's such a deep, rich culture to Black Americans that goes back to Africa, and we need to understand that in order to truly understand ourselves. I don't think it was so much a shift in the way I think. I think it was more of wanting to share more and learn more, because there's definitely more that I need to learn, and that's why we want to partner, is to share that experience with our young people who have given up hope in life and don't see a bright future for themselves. But I think with coming to understand the deep roots that they carry from their ancestors from Africa to current is could definitely change their mindset and how they look at life and look at their future.
Most definitely wanted to jump on this opportunity to be able to go, and it exceeded everything that I could have asked for. It was the most amazing trip I've ever took in my life. I felt like it was more than I could have asked for sure. And a similarity I saw, one thing, I like how we greet each other and how we shake hands. That was pretty fun to see.
I was surprised how kind the people are, and how strong the ladies are carrying the stuff on their head, the basket and food on their head.
I had to it really humbled me. I left really humbled.
I had high expectations for food, which definitely surpassed, and just the beauty that we experienced, but that everything was such an amazing experience. I didn't know what to expect. And I think just the element of surprise and beauty and all of that will just sit with me forever. I think we were busy from dusk till dawn, literally running and driving and, seeing new places. And I think a lot of times no one even really talked a whole lot while we were driving. We just kind of looked out the windows and we're just watching and taking everything in. So, I would say if I had expectations, it fairly exceeded my expectations for sure. And it's just, it was just the most amazing experience. I don't think there's a week that goes by that I don't talk about the trip with somebody or share pictures with somebody.
I enjoy, sharing what I know and my experience to our guests, our brothers and sisters out there. So that's what I enjoy doing most, to be a tour guide, and also connecting with them, and also helping them build the bridge between the motherland and then the diaspora.
Going on this trip, it really brought a sense of completion for me, in a lot of different ways, and it brought a connectiveness for me. So all of it is important, but I feel like it was necessary for me to go back to where I came from to like connect that dot.
I think there's a lot of things that I've noticed, that I learned, that just helped me to realize that this is where we're from, because they do the same things we do, like things that we've adapted. I'm like, okay, so this is where we got this from. And then like just Americanized, I just didn't know how many people out there even like living in those spaces, like all this social media, like you have a TikTok. I'm like, TikTok, what? Snapchat, what? You got a Snapchat? Like, so I didn't even know that existed over here, but.
I think that was great traveling with a group. You get to see a lot of different perspectives of what people see. Like, I personally have everybody else had, I feel like, a different path. Like, everybody came from a different place. So as we're all going to Africa, I feel like we could all just like reflect and see our different viewpoints of everything, instead of just looking at like a general standpoint. Someone may see this thing or something different. So I think that was great.
Seeing how everybody puts the food together, it's not just one person cooking for everyone else, and just going to the market and everyone's looking out for each other's stands, and it's just a different environment in terms of respect there. So since I've been back, I've just really taken a step back when I'm in public and just thinking about, do I need this item? How can I help somebody near me? And it's just been a complete change of mind.
Say going to the different markets and like just seeing them and like how a way for how they make money. It was just really fun just going around and shopping there.
In the city, they said that it was like organized chaos. So I think that was really cool. It was like it looks like chaos, but everybody knows what they're doing, and they just have it. Their mind is just working so well. So I think that's probably a skill that I got out of it.
It really hit me when we went and did the cooking class, and they had the music going and people are dancing and people are cooking and stuff like that, and like, I don't know, now I'm gonna try not to get, but that was the first time. I mean, I got emotional right from the beginning, but like that's the first time I was like, wow. Like, I literally felt like I was at home. Like, that's exactly what my family does. Exactly. Then, it usually is the women. The males help too and stuff, but it's usually the women doing their thing. And, we're all talking and we're doing this and we're laughing. And then, like, one time, one of the, sisters, she was like aunties, they called them, which we do the same exact thing. I have so many aunties that are not my auntie. So even to hear that, I was like, that is crazy to me. I didn't realize it, but there was so many cultural things that was going on during that time that made me feel like I was right in my own home. So that shocked me.
Probably push myself to just like try everything, because I won't be maybe it's only exclusive to there. So I tried to try every single thing I could there to just get the most out of the trip.
I love that we have a love for food, that's for sure. I think that was another experience that was just so joyful, was cooking with the family, with the aunties in Al Dente. That was so much fun. So just sharing the love of cooking and love of food and just trying new foods. I tried, especially cooking with the family and stuff, with the aunties, like just trying everything that we made that normally I probably wouldn't have tried back here. And I'm glad I did. Just everything was just amazing.
We got to go to Kwame's auntie's house and cook, and we made our own meal that we ate for lunch. Like everybody had separate things to cook, and that was a good experience. I don't remember all the names of the stuff, but we did get to cook traditional African food. We made jollof rice, which was pretty good. But as far as our people go, I think that's something that if they could, or if they had the opportunity, I think that it should be a must in order to, better understand, especially the youth these days. Like, the world is really turning into a place of like no morals, no values, no history. And I think that we need to know our history. And I think that it really helped me in tremendous ways, especially our youth. I just sat back and watched them, and I think that the ones that actually went, they really needed it, and it was a good deal.
Especially with Rebound, I saw a lot of kids in it, and I always say we need to teach the kids early what we learned late, There are certain things that we all learned late, but since they are coming, they have to let them understand that, okay, this is the continent that the ancestors left, to the other world, and if they are coming back, we need to make sure they get the basics of, especially with the culture, because the culture identifies who we are.
It beyond my expectations. Like it was way more than I expected. However, my interest in it was, I just felt like I wanted that journey of self, and to be able to go to actually go to Africa, it's like a chance in a lifetime. Like, people don't get to just do that, and I just felt like that was something that I needed to do, and I did, and it was amazing. It was amazing. I gained patience in a way that I didn't even imagine I could have, right? So that was like the number one thing. It was a very spiritual trip for me. So I think I took back a lot of that. I think that patience is like the number one thing, because now I'm kind of like, I don't worry about a lot of things. It's because like, I already knew that I don't have control over things, or I shouldn't worry about things I don't have control over. But just going there, I was just like, you know what? I worry about way too much stuff. Like, there's no reason. Like, you just need to live and be comfortable. And I learned a lot of that there.
Yeah, as a group was traveling, I also learned, like, you have to stick with the group. You can't walk off. I don't know, I learned a lot about the participants too. I learned a lot about just kind of how everyone's going through different stuff and how everyone's perspective. Like, I bunked with Sinai, and we would debrief every night, and we would just talk about it. So it's kind of cool to see, although we're all doing the same thing at the same time, we all have different perspectives and mindsets about it.
But being together, they made me comfortable the whole time. Like, they were assuring me, they made sure I was good. Like, they even in the activities, like, I got out of my comfort zone, and they made sure I was comfortable and felt safe.
It was very muggy, and that day they were just like, everyone was sweating because we were all in the car, and it was a lot. But then we just walked to the waterfall, and just being in its proximity, you could feel all of the raindrops from the waterfall. And it was just the ambiance. It was like watching like a YouTube video with like mindfulness or something. It was so cool.
My favorite part was being as a group, like being together wise, because like it was the first time in a long time where I had like a group of people that cared, and a stable, like a community, you know, because like a family kind of. So I didn't really have a lot of that in my life as a kid. So it was just cool to have people that cared and that were willing to take me on this trip and bring me along. Because at first I was really scared and they talked me into it. So it was just cool to have a group the whole time I was there because I was scared. Like I really was. And my anxiety was through the roof the whole time. And being with them helped me like be more comfortable and them talking to me the whole time. So just togetherness was my all-time favorite out of the whole entire group together. Like the whole entire trip, that was my favorite part, being together.
God, there were so many amazing aspects to it. Very much, you know, going to the motherland and like the spiritual aspect of it, especially in the slave dungeons. And so I think the slave dungeons was definitely like one of the most spiritual aspects to it and something that will definitely sit with me for a long time. But it was just so beautiful and the people were just so amazing and the food was outstanding and just being in fellowship and just sharing that experience.
For the feeling aspects, anytime we do tours, I know people go through emotions and stuff, you know, which it is normal. You know, some emotions, you know, makes you release some kind of pain, you know, especially when you cry out, you know, certain pains out, you know. So it's for the emotions, it's normal. And then the other thing is we want them to practice what we share. It's not only by hearing it and just that's it, you know. Because when you come here, we make sure you get grounded, you know, and also we have basics of toils that we do in terms of what we have to give them, you know, where we break them down the historical side, the cultural side, and the spirituality side, you know. But more focus on the spirituality side because that defines who you are as a person, you know, and also that grows your ability to contain a lot of things in life, you know. So we believe we are spiritual beings and spirituality is something that we don't have to oversee it, you know. It's something that we have to embrace, you know, and focus on it and pay attention more to it because everything that happens in the spiritual happens in the physical, you know. So spirituality is something that you can ask them. I was stressing more on that they have to pay attention to that, you know, because that is the basic thing of life. Some comes very in emotional traumas and all that, you know, yeah, but when they come and then we share our experience and also with some of the negative narrative that they speak about the continent, when they get here and then we show them the love for the places and how beautiful the continent is, you know, it also makes us very proud, you know, at least, you know, we've been able to change some lives as well, you know, yeah. So those are some of the memorable ones. Sometimes I sit down and be like, oh wow. And also touring this number of people in my life, you know, without even being in America before, you know, in my own small ways, you know. So I feel a little bit proud and also proud of them too.
It lived beyond my expectations. Like it was way more than I expected. However, my interest in it was, I just felt like I wanted that journey of self and to be able to go to actually go to Africa. It's like a chance in a lifetime. Like people don't get to just do that. And I just felt like that was something that I needed to do. And I did, and it was amazing. It was amazing.
Even when I share my pictures with people, still, it's just like a whole new feeling again and wanting to go back. I remember waking up the day that we were leaving, I woke up crying. I was like, I don't want to go home. So, but again, I think, you know, the people and just beautiful and just so happy. And I think, especially when we went to the village, seeing how impoverished it was, but seeing how happy and just beautiful and joyful these young people were, will definitely sit with me forever.
She loved it beyond words. It empowered her and it gave her confidence in herself. Her being of a darker complexion, African, she she was always feeling very self-conscious of her skin tone. And then she went to Ghana and saw so many people like her and people darker than her and people loving themselves in the skin that God gave them. And she came back with, I love me. Ain't nobody like me. So I think the whole experience, from the cooking and the culture and the embracing of self and the positivity and the camaraderie and it was all just phenomenal for her and helped her to grow leaps and bounds.
I'm not as far removed from my ancestors as I thought.
And then she goes to Ghana, where she's empowered and where she gets to understand that African and African Americans are not what the majority of the society where she lives portray them to be, but that they come from royalty and they come from great wealth and they come from a proud people. Even those who don't have much are very proud to be who they are. And they come from resourceful people. And she came from a people that make something out of nothing. And there's nothing that can stop you if you put your mind to it. So bringing it full fold around to coming back home, she's like, I don't care what nobody say about me. I know who I am. I know where I came from. I don't have to fight with nobody. I don't have to defend who I am to nobody. I don't have to compare myself to nobody. I know that I am from a resourceful people, and if I put my mind to it, I can get it done, because those before me did. And just seeing the confidence in her, oh yeah, going there has really brought out in her what it is to be of African descent. No matter where in the diaspora you come from, you came from these people.
Him wanting to take on more leadership role and incorporate his culture, his heritage. And I think he got that from his naming ceremony. It kind of puff up his chest a little, my name is Kwabena, whatever the elders told him or did, it kind of give him a boost of confidence. So he brought back that leadership, little oomph with him.
The reason why I want to go on the trip is to see another perspective in the world that I've never seen before and try to get something out of it. And my end part is probably going to be to just share with the world and tell everybody what they told us in Kwame. What he told us is just tell everybody to come back to the motherland, because that's where everybody is from. You just need to see where all your ancestors were from, where everything started. That's probably the main reason.
The love of music and dancing and stuff. We were just so joyful, listening to different music and stuff, and dancing in the Royal Gardens, and I just think it's just a genuine joy for life. I didn't feel like there was too much that was different. I've always felt drawn to our African culture, and so it's just kind of more of just confirmation, why I've been drawn to different things and symbols and things like that. But yeah, I don't think we're too different. I mean, maybe just our food, but I think our love for food and how that brings people together, I think that is very similar.
I am terrified of heights, and we went on that treetop walkway, and at first I was sweating, my palms were just itching, and I was gonna back out and just go right back down, but I told myself, you're in Africa, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, point blank. So I went, and it was so much fun. I couldn't stop laughing. It was so cool to just overcome that fear and just see birds in the treetop, and all the beautiful, beautiful trees. It was amazing. So that really pushed me out of my comfort zone, but I'm so glad I did it.
I am deathly afraid of heights. And so doing the canopy walk was like a big deal for me because I was like, I think I had like rope burn underneath my arms and stuff. I think that instantly comes to mind was doing that. But I'm so glad I did it. I told myself before I went that I'm going to do everything that is offered on this trip. And I'm glad I did.
My favorite part of the journey was going to the school because I am an educator, and it was amazing just to see how much the kids appreciated us and how much they were amazed by us. Yeah, that was my favorite. I think that was my favorite part of the journey, and my favorite experience was going to the waterfall.
Favorite thing we did was going to the school. The kids are just, oh my goodness, they're infectious. Their energy, the smiles, the love, oh man, and getting to see the Queen Mother too, because she was there, and I don't even know what they call them. Is it King? Both of them. Just seeing them, and then like the Queen Mother was so down to earth and really, really nice and reachable. Like, I love that. That whole experience was, yeah, one of my favorites.
My favorite part was the school, like visiting the school, donating stuff. It was like fun, like watching the kids like be so happy.
I would say just talking to more people, because I'm not really comfortable talking to a lot of people, but I've tried to push myself to be more open.
Big thing I just took away is just like how blessed I am to the situation I'm in. Cause I do see those kids. I feel like actually some of the times I feel like those types of people are more happy than people around me. Cause I see them, they're like always joyful. They're always like smiling, even though their conditions aren't the best, they still make the most out of it. So that's honestly what I took out of it, is just like appreciating what I have, and also in the end what I want to do is just like try to give back.
And seeing the port where her ancestors were shipped from, and knowing and hearing about the hardships of their journey and the brutality of their experience, and understanding that they survive so that you can be, and so that you can excel, and so that you can become, and that you have this responsibility to become. I think being in that place brought all of those to within her soul and just mended her.
We went to the slave trades, and I was very, very emotional. Like going there, and we went in the dungeon, and the smell and the feeling of being in there. They closed the door on us so we could like feel how it felt. It was just crazy. I was like, I don't know how they did it, and I salute our ancestors, because I could never. I don't know what I would have did. I probably would have killed myself. And I don't know, I was just more grateful. Like, I feel when I came back here to America, I was like, this is crazy. Like, it made me feel so much more different about being Black. And I was like, I don't know, like now I want to know more. Like, ever since then, I done did ancestry. I want to know everything. Like, I want to know where like my blood comes from and where I came from in Africa, like me personally. So I've been doing a lot of research since I came back, and I've been talking to my dad about it, because I want to know like more about me now. Like, I didn't know that I would care that much about my blood and all that until I came back from Africa. So I was like, I want to know, like, now I want to know who I'm related to and what my bloodline went through and stuff, you know.
So like when we went to the castle, the dungeons, it was just like, I got a feeling that I know I have never felt before, but I don't think I'll ever feel again. And it was just like to know what our people went through, and you know, it gives you a better sense of appreciation knowing that. And I think I always talk about students because I work in school, but I think every young person should have that experience. Because I think that us knowing our history and where we're from and understanding it gives us a better sense of where we're going. So
I took away so much joy, happiness. It was so fun.
But it definitely did a big leap in the healing process in her spirit of who she is and embracing that it's okay to be who I am. Because my people are great people, and they look like me and they be like me, and some of them have gone through worse than I've ever gone through. And you know, brokenness brings about healing, and I just need to embrace who I am and not look at what happened to me, but look at what my future holds. So I think the whole thing, I can see where she has begun her healing process. And I can see where her healing process is not just in the very, very beginning stages, but it like propelled her into that healing and to embracing and, you know, both mentally and spiritually, and even physically, you know, where now my child doesn't, before she used to kind of walk with her chin almost to her chest, and now her chin is very far from her chest. There's a pride in her now, you know, that only healing can bring about. So yeah, I can clearly see that.
I had to open up, and I let my guard down a little bit, which is not normal for me. And I'm glad I let that guard down, because at first I was like, I'm not going. But I let my guard down, and I let them care about me because they were trying to. Because I was pushing them away for so long, and I told them, like, I'm not trying to, like, I don't want to be me. But I was like, I don't know, man. Yeah, it just been because of what I've been through. But I'm very grateful, and I appreciate them so much, like, for involving me and offering me a spot on this trip. And it's a once in a lifetime experience. Like, you don't get this experience a lot. I'm very grateful. Like, I'm gonna forever cherish these people in my heart because they are helping me emotionally and on my journey. Because, like, healing is not easy, and they're helping me every step. Like, they really have. And I really appreciate them. So the whole trip itself was just a healing journey for me, because I've been through so much that I shouldn't have experienced as a kid, and they knew that, and so they were trying to involve me, and they weren't forcing me, but they did persuade me, and I'm very grateful that they did.
Yes, hands down. It was just so amazing. Yeah. And it was like, yeah, I can't even really put it into words, but definitely yes. Like, even just standing back and watching my son just immerse himself in, you know, as they called him, Big Man. He was Big Man over there. And even in the village, like, they thought like he was a celebrity when he got on the mic. He's like, hi. And they're like,
yes. Yes. If you can apply. It's one of the best things you can do for yourself, to be honest, in my opinion. It was beautiful.
Because our USA is not all means that you can be. So absolutely, yes, you need to go, especially our kids in community where they just need to know where they're from, right? And being on the continent is something special. A lot of people are going back to Africa, especially Ghana. And it's like a rites of passage. Learn about the culture, learn about just simple things, you know, and then you have a better appreciation of when you get there. But like, I read about this or I saw this. So yes, with that little caveat.
What I say to a mother, wow, or any parent, make them go. No, there is, I mean, the richness of what they will get here is unlike anything. You know, kids knowing where they came from, So taking your child out of an environment where they are a minority and sending them into a place where they can see so many like themselves and where they are the absolute majority, but in a place where people don't talk about themselves as a majority or a minority, but talk about themselves as humans and as being of excellence, and talking about the richness of who they are, but not looking at themselves in the form of numbers. Because when you look at yourself as a number, I think it diminishes who you are, opposed to you looking at yourself as a part of this wholeness. You're not just a number. You're not just, oh, y'all are 5%, oh, y'all are 6%. No, we are it. We are part of the whole. We embody everything. There's no experience like that for a child coming from this part of the diaspora, going into that part of the diaspora. And for a child, when you go and you see children who has so much less than you, even though you think you have little, and you go and you see the joy and the desire to achieve and the pride in who they are and the embodiment of excellence and the desire to be and become everything that they were created to be, there's nothing like it. I mean, you come back going, I can do that too. Hey, I definitely can do that. And the parents, your kid come back whole in a sense of wanting to be the best of themselves, not necessarily comparing themselves to anybody to say, well, I got to be better than this person or that person, but knowing that they can be the best that they can be and that that's sufficient. So for both the parent and the child, I think the experience of understanding who you are, where you came from, who your people are, what they have endured, knowing that you don't have to compete against anybody, but that you can become the best that you can be. Just that alone, just learning that and seeing that, I think is more than anybody can ask for. So yeah, send your kid. They will come back changed. The little kid that went with head hang or not so confident will come back confident and do who they are. The kid who is a little bit pompous and a little bit know-all will go and come back a little bit more humble. It will be a complete life-changing experience.
Yes. It's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You don't even know where you're gonna... Like, some of the people there, they haven't been outside the United States, which, personally for me, I don't know, I travel a lot with my family, but I say that anyone in Minnesota, Minneapolis area should definitely apply for the Sankofa Fellowship journey and just try to just get the most out of the trip. So I would say everybody should be applying for it to expand actually Rebound as well.
Absolutely 100%. Everyone needs to come on this trip. It is so cool. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity to be able to go to a different continent for free, like no strings attached, and just also you get the chance to meet people your age. You get the chance to connect with some people in the community, like some mentors that you can build relationships with, and yeah, awesome.
Gigs. in every way. That was, I'm glad that he was I don't know anything about any other tour guide or whatever, but I'm glad that we got him. It was exactly what we needed. And if you listen, which I did, if you listen to what he was saying, it would prepare you for whatever was coming next. And just being able to ask him anything, understand what was going on. I just didn't feel like any question was stupid. And he shares so much knowledge. It was amazing. It was amazing. He totally enhanced the whole experience. I'm so glad that we got to meet him. Like, I will never forget Kwame. Kwame is like a part of my life right here, even though he's not right here. But he is. I felt like I felt safe. He was great. I can't explain to you in so many ways. Spiritually, just understanding that kind of stuff and just everything, just to experience it. I mean, he found somebody to do my hair. I mean, those are the things. Some of the things that he did for us on that trip, he didn't have to. You know, you could tell it was just him being who he is. And he went all out, and I appreciate him. He was great. I would recommend him to anyone if you want a great tour guide and you want to get something spiritually, emotionally, mentally. If you want to truly immerse yourself into a trip like that, he is a great person to do that with.
Kwame, he was so like fun and funny. I really liked him.
Kwame, oh man. Kwame is just, I've never met anyone like him. Like, he was just amazing. When I first met him, he was like, I wanted to get cool with him when I first met him, because I was like, he looked cool as hell. Like, we got off the plane, he was just happy to see us. I was happy to see him. I was like, oh yeah, his vibe is lit. I like him, because I'm a lit person. If y'all know me, like, when I get comfortable with people, I'm the one talking. I'll never hold my tongue. I got something to say all the time. I got a comment, a concern, and he's the same way. I was like, man, we had good conversations the whole time, and he was a very wise person. I like wise people because I like, people that I can talk to, and he was very easy to talk to. And he just like, I just know you're very strong. And I was like, I would like to feel like it, but he was just like, because you're young, but you don't, you got a lot of knowledge for a young person. I was like, that's just because of a lot of trauma. And he's like, explain. So I explained to him what I went through in just a little bit, and he was just like, well, I'm proud of you. And we were talking, and he made me feel really good about myself. Like, he really did. And he made the trip so fun. Like, he was teaching us stuff, and he was just cool. Like, I don't know, that's my dog now.
Kwame is a whole nother world. He's such an experience in himself. He's a whole experience. He's just such a beautiful person. Like, he's so knowledgeable and so passionate about what he does. And his hospitality is just amazing. He took care of us. He made sure we had everything we needed. If we felt like we were getting sick, he was on top of it. Like, he was amazing. Kwame he kept at us. He kept in contact with everybody. He treated everybody as an individual. He had, like one-on-one conversations with people. He made sure that we were okay. If if we had any kind of feelings that he thought, okay, I need to talk to this person. He wanted to make sure our experience was 100. He also wanted to make sure, that he was there just as a, somebody to lean on, or, whatever. He wanted to make sure we got everything as a whole in the experience. He was good.
He was the peacemaker. He was so knowledgeable. Like, even to go to, like, he brought his auntie, so he went to his auntie's house to, like, cook and stuff, and he was just so phenomenal. But he was wonderful. Like, I would suggest anybody who's going to Ghana to look up Kwame and have him curate their experience, because he's just perfect. Like, his personality is perfect for that, and his deep knowledge, and yeah, he's amazing.
Brought a lot of liveliness to the group. He woke us up. He he introduced us to some natural medicine that, because while we were there, some of us got a little sick, and the medicine he gave us, all natural, we all took like a spoonful. It tasted disgusting, but it helped us a lot. It gave us more energy. It was amazing.
He was the best. Of course, I reached out to him prior. The helicopter mom mentality. He definitely made a big impact, and Anthony and him clicked as well. So I think that was even better. And he knew his stuff, and I felt safe with the choice that the group made.
Yeah, he was super awesome. He would always ask everyone, like, hey, you need something, I got you. So, I mean, we could be like, okay, I want like an apple juice, and he would just bolt to the store, and the next thing you know, you see you have 2 types of apple juices, and you have everything. He was so awesome and so sweet. Like, I got something from the market, and I got back to the hotel and realized that I wanted something else, and I asked him if he would take us back, and he said no, and he just took the waist beads that I got, and he went and he got them reclassed for me. And so he went above and beyond and personalized the experience for everyone. He was super cool.
He just gave a one-to-one, like a person-to-person relationship with just everybody. He just was nice to everybody. He made relationships with everybody. I think that's one of his strengths. Just like getting along with everybody there, it just like enhanced our experience and made us feel comfortable. And we weren't like, we weren't really scared. Just like, Kwame had our back because he's been there like a jillion times. So I feel like that's how we enhance our experience.
And I want to just hug a donor and tell them like my story and tell them like how they helped me and impacted me on a personal level. Because me personally, I feel like out of everybody on this trip, I needed it the most because I need healing. Like I've been through so much, and I feel like the donors should know like how much they helped me, because like if they knew, like it's really kids out here that didn't get a chance, like a chance or understanding, or like they were just in a bad situation from day one. And that's how I was. Like from day one, I was put in bad situations, my parents, and I was just really sad all the time. And growing up from middle school to high school, I had a very stressful upbringing. And the people that helped us go on this trip, I'm very grateful for them. And I want them to know that it's other kids out here that need that. Like I want other kids to experience what I got to experience. People that love them, and care about them, even if you don't know them, like strangers. It's people that actually care about us, that funded for us and put this all together for us and have this experience. And I feel like other kids that been through what I've been through should be able to go through what I went through to get where I am now. Like I'm very much better than I was a few months ago, like when 2023 first started, and I'm very grateful for everybody that helped us go on this trip.
I mean, that was the best experience of my life. I mean, the best. Aside from having my children, that was the best. Thank you. Can't thank all of the donors enough. That was totally life-changing. I can't wait to take my kids. But I got to do this, have this experience for free. That is a total blessing. And I'm never going to be the same because of it. Never. Yeah. I'm literally thinking about when I die, taking my body back to, like, Ghana. That's how seriously, grateful for that experience.
Thank you so much. This was a great experience. I really appreciate you.
I would first say that their money that they donated did not go to waste, and that it was appreciated, and that they should keep donating because this is very important. This is very important for our culture. And even when Christy went, she's white, and that's not her culture, but everybody welcomed her with open arms, and they were just like, you're from here too, this is your land too, you need to come back, bring more people that look like you, whatever. Like, everybody is welcome. We want everybody to have this experience, and that was welcomed. And it was, she felt that. So I just think that I'm appreciative, and if they could just keep donating, that would be great.
I would send pictures to every single one of them. I know they can see it on the website, but if I could personally show them all the experiences that they gave us, it changed our lives, all of us. Just debriefing on the plane and debriefing in the vans, just talking about how when we get back, we're not going to be on our phones as much. We're going to take time and touch some grass. We're going to go for walks. We're going to appreciate our culture more. It just completely changed our mindset of how things are back at home. And for me especially, I really, really want to travel more because of this experience. So it just opened a whole different gate to my adult world.
Beyond grateful that you took the time and the opportunity to invest in this program. Sankofa means to go back and get, and these scholars and chaperones definitely went back and got, and they're bringing back to our community. So without you, this wouldn't be possible. We thank you, we appreciate you, and continue doing great works.
Well, not just my child and my family, but I think for all the families and all the children that were able to participate in this phenomenal experience, I would say you are life changers. You have changed the lives of each and every one of the children that ventured with Sankofa. You caused them to become more aware of who they are, and in the end, they will become better adults and more productive citizens. The dreams they had before, I think, has now been tenfold or more. And that's all because of your generosity. I know that it would have been impossible without the generous donations of those donors. And for each donation, no matter how small or how big, I want to personally say thank you, because I can see the change in my child. Even just, a month and a half, 2 months after the trip, I can see the confidence in her. I can see the belief in self. I can see the love for self. She is a complete new person, and it wouldn't have happened unless she went on this trip. So thank you is not sufficient. Thank you for me is just words. I want to wrap my arms around each of you and give you the biggest hug and the tightest squeeze, because I don't know what else to do.
Thank you.
But thank you
so
thank
much.
you, thank you.
You're really changing lives by donating to help kids go and connect back with their roots.
I would just say thank you for this opportunity. I wouldn't be able to go without you, and you really just expanded a lot in the whole world of just Black culture and advocacy. It's just like you just expanded everybody's viewpoints. I'll say thank you for letting me on that trip. I really appreciate it.
Oh my goodness. To all the donors, thank you so much for this truly invaluable experience that I had with my son and the group in general. And make your donations even bigger next time so we can take more young people and more chaperones, because it's truly a life-changing experience that most of these young people that will be going with us in 2025 would never have the opportunity to go. And I don't think I would have thought about going, but I just didn't make the moves to do it because it is a lot of work to plan a trip like this. That more donations financially to make this experience even richer next time. But their donations definitely more than just appreciated, like really created life-changing experiences for all that went, for everybody who went. and to bring other donors on board too, individual donors, large corporations, even if they want to donate like backpacks that we wear that have their branding on them that we can wear, literally all over the world in these different continents, branding them all over, and sponsoring at least a, 2 youth, and what is it, like 10 grand per person about? And it had to truly, we didn't have to pay for anything. And that was just truly amazing that between the hotels and the food and the excursions, like it was definitely life-changing, and their money was put to very good use, 2025 is coming, so put it in their budgets for 2025.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate everyone for making this happen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madase, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sankofa and Rebound, and all the wonderful donors. Thank you.